Hey everyone! Welcome back to your favorite pirate crew. Today, we're gonna talk about Garp attacking Akainu so that he won't go after Luffy. If you'd like to see more about One Piece in our channel, please leave your thumbs up and subscribe to join our pirate crew. But pirates, before we continue with the video, I ask that you already subscribe to join our channel. That way you can join our pirate crew and earn a devil fruit or master your favorite haki of your very own. It would also be a good help to this division of the crew if you left your thumbs up in today's video so that we together can become Yonkos. Now, let's get going on the video. The new era of One Piece is beginning, and so is the beginning of the end of the story of this beloved manga. The last few chapters of the story have been introducing us not only to the conclusion of the Wano arc, but what's been happening in the world in the meantime, and at the same time, the consequences of the Mugiwara's actions. Recently, the bounties have been revealed to us, as well as those of other pirates, that we've long awaited an update on, and it certainly was a big surprise that Luffy has kept his 3 billion bounty, while Buggy has an even bigger bounty than his. And this is reflected not only in his current power as a Yonko, but mainly by the threat he poses to the Marines. Because, well, come on, he's the new Joy Boy, and he's heading perfectly towards Laugh-Tale, potentially meeting him very soon, and the Marines are perfectly aware of that now. So much so that they reduced his reward so that it wouldn't draw too much attention. But Ryokugyu was no fool, so he decided to go after the Straw Hat to try his luck and make Akainu proud. However, as we saw, he didn't even get a chance to find it properly. However, it's clear to us that Sakazuki is really angry about the situation, and should certainly go after Luffy to fulfill his Marineford promise, to execute him for the world, just as he did Ace in the past. However, possibly regretting his actions, one person will not allow the same mistake to repeat again, going head to head with him to protect his grandson. Will we see a showdown between Garp and Akainu? Could they face each other in the future? What could happen? That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video, if it wasn't obvious. Sakazuki, known by his nickname Akainu, is the current admiral of the Marine Fleet, succeeding the previous fleet admiral Sengoku. During the first half of the series, he was one of the 3 admirals and the last to appear in the series. He ascended to the position of fleet admiral after defeating Kuzan in a 10-day duel that left Punk Hazard in its current state, half frozen and half on fire. One of his first decisions was to move the Marine headquarters to the New World in preparation for the new era of pirates. In the manga, he was first mentioned by Nico Robin during the initial encounter with Aokiji. In the anime, he was previously mentioned by the Vice Admiral Jonathan during Arc G8, which aired after Akainu had been revealed in the manga. Because of his actions, Akainu was, well, one of the main opponents in the Marineford arc. Sakazuki is a close follower of absolute justice throughout the series, up to the point where his extremism led his fellow Admiral Aokiji to oppose his promotion to Fleet Admiral and resign from the Marines after his failure. Because of his actions, Sakazuki is one of the main antagonists in the Marineford arc, and after his promotion, he became one of the main antagonists in the series. Akainu is a firm believer in absolute justice and is ruthless in upholding it. He has a harsh and cruel temperament and is the most ruthless of the 3 admirals. Despite this behavior, like a Eustace Kid, Akainu seems to be able to restrain himself, such as choosing to spare Jewelry Bonnie's life after she was left by Blackbeard's pirates. Akainu's beliefs have led him to go as far as the destruction of a refugee ship, simply because of the slightest possibility that an archaeologist might be holding up in that ship. His logic is that if one of Ohara's scholars had escaped, the mission would have been a failure, unlike Aokiji, who called him crazy for exaggerating his attitudes. Akainu takes extreme attitudes to the point of killing anyone who doesn't share his point of view, with the attempt to kill Kobe in his effort to stop the war. To Akainu, any sailor who isn't willing to fight for justice is not worthy to be called a sailor. Despite his status as a sailor of the century, Akainu is also known to use underhand tactics and is willing to lie or deceive his enemies to achieve justice. So far, Akainu's manipulations have been incredibly successful, such as when he managed to trick Squared into attacking Whitebeard, and when he insulted Whitebeard by making Ace stop his escape and become vulnerable to his attack. He considers people who try to interfere with his plans just as annoying obstacles. Furthermore, he seems to have no fear of ancient legends, such as Whitebeard. Before Sengoku made it public that Luffy was Dragon's son, Akainu was one of the few who already knew that Luffy was Dragon's son. It's not known if he has any past relationship with Dragon, or if high-level sailors had access to that type of knowledge. As As such, Akainu feels that Luffy's mere existence, due to Luffy being Dragon's son, is enough for him to be a threat to the world and should be eliminated. Akainu said in the war that even if any other pirate escaped the war, he personally would not allow Ace and Luffy to get out of the war alive. He sees criminals, be they pirates or any other kind, only as tools to be used against each other. As the admiral of the fleet, Sakazuki has command over the entire organization. The sailors must respect him and used to call him Admiral Sakazuki, as opposed to his epithet. However, his relentless adherence with absolute justice made his colleagues fear and despise him, especially Aokiji, who called him an idiot for taking things too far. For his part, Akainu would be easy to kill any sailor who contradicts his beliefs, as he executed a soldier for leaving his post out of fear, and even made an attempt on Kobe's life, we previously stated, for voicing his objections for taking the war. Again, too far. And this would probably be repeated in the present day, when his quest to follow his belief of justice would lead him to clash with other fellow Marines. We could assume that in the future, Garp might actually become a traitor for protecting, directly or indirectly, Luffy from Akainu. Not that he doesn't know that his grandson might clash with him now, since his power is equivalent to that of a Yonko, but because he can probably blame himself for what happened to Ace, not having protected him as he should have in the past. This could start with small arguments and meddling in their work, proceeding to a situation where they would argue and later raise their arms at each other. Upon finding out that Ryukugyu backed down thanks to Shanks, not Luffy, Akainu would possibly reflect on the Yonko's goals in doing so, but at the same time would be angry that he was humiliated like that, looking for a way to act again. Possibly when the Mugiwaras land on a new isle, they will be hunted wildly, but just as they would be hunted, the Admirals will also be hunted. But there would be Garp's presence there, preventing the Admirals from acting, trying to make excuses why that shouldn't happen. So we would have a clash between Akainu and Garp, with him provoking Luffy's grandfather to the point of making him go off on him. It would be a possibly awesome fight, with a few different endings. Let's remember that in the past, Akainu never showed respect for Garp, even though the former Vice Admiral was a hero who was eligible for the Admiral position due to him being of the previous generation, but mostly because he shared the same lineage with Dragon and Luffy. Garp, in turn, also tried to assassinate Akainu due to Ace's execution, and had to be restrained by Sengoku. But this time, Sengoku might not have been able to hold him back, allowing them to fight. But who would win this fight? Would someone actually stop them? Or would one of them emerge victorious this time? Could Garp defeat, or at least incapacitate Akainu somehow? Or would he lose for sure? Leave in the comments your opinion about what could happen. We'd love to hear it, honestly. Well, that's it, my Straw Hat Pirate. I really hope you enjoyed the video. And if you have any suggestions for a future video, why not comment below? Because I'll be reading them all as I always do. Also, don't forget to leave a like if you enjoy the video. Be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any content from your pirate crew.